big stuff. It's large art constructed in cities and towns all over the world. These giants represent an idea, a business, or a feeling of a particular person or a whole community. The Big Stuff Podcast is about the people and stories behind big stuff. Come take this fun journey with us. This is the Big Stuff Podcast.
Hey, welcome to episode 3 of Big Stuff Podcast. Hi, Jen. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Really good. I recently took a flight out to Los Angeles to see a 17-foot long hot dog. And it's got a lot of history, too.
I'm so jealous that I wasn't there with you. First of all, you brought me this amazing shirt you can see with Tail O The Pup all over it. But yeah, you mentioned the history. The decade from 1925 to 1934 was kind of the heyday of California's programmatic advertising.
What's that, Jen?
That basically is where your advertising looks like the item that you are trying to sell, hence a giant hot dog.
Got it.
And it's really fun. It represents a lot of history in advertising across the U.S. And this hot dog actually built back in 1946. So it was one of the first examples of California's programmatic art.
Also, Jen, not only does it look good, it actually tastes good. And I am talking about the building.
You tried to bite it.
I did try to bite it. I try to bite everything while I'm there. Hot dogs were excellent, too.
Oh,
so
good.
That's part of the episode.
Well, in the episode, you're going to hear from Andrew Salimian. He is with the LA Conservancy. He's going to tell us a little bit of the history of Tail O The Pup. And then you travel to Tail O The Pup to actually meet with Jake Casano from Tail O The Pup and find out more of the history and some of their menu items.
Oh, wait
so
till you see
let's
this episode.
go.
Hot Dog City, episode 3. Hey, everybody. I'm here in West Hollywood, California with Jake Cusano. We are here at the Tail O The Pup. What a treat.
Yeah.
Thank you for being on with us, Jake.
Absolutely. Thanks for thinking of us.
Jake is the general manager here. And how long you been here?
Yeah, so we've been open for about 2.5, 3 years. So I've been here the whole time from opening, but with the company for about 7.5.
First question I'm going to ask you is, what's it like working in a hot dog?
Yeah. That was the interesting part.
Right?
You know, going over here and helping them open this up, I was like, this will be a lot different from some of the other things I've done. So definitely an adjustment. You know, you get a lot of looks. That's one thing.
I would think like, you know, when you're talking to somebody you meet and they're like, what do you do? I mean,
Right.
you got a good answer that could go in any direction.
I got a lot of words to play with. Let's just put it that way, you know?
That's terrific. This is a historic place.
Yeah.
1946, I believe.
Yeah. So the hot dog actually right behind us from 1946, and that is the original one that we restored.
We sat down with Andrew Salimian from the LA Conservancy. They are a preservation organization that revitalizes and restores historic buildings all around Los Angeles.
Tell me a little bit about location. I know there was an original location and it's not there anymore. Do you know anything about that?
The Tail O The Pup is actually in its third location, as far as I can tell. It started off on Beverly and La Cienega on the northwest corner, across from Beverly Park, which was an early amusement park, also kind of known as Kittyland. That whole area was developed into the Beverly Center, which is a massive mall. Where the hot dog stand was developed into a hotel kind of across the street from the mall. And then it was moved to San Vicente, a few blocks away, by Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, which is one of the best hospitals in the country.
Yep.
But as hospitals do, they always are expanding, and of course it was displaced from that location. It sat in storage for years in Torrance, which is about 20 miles south of there, until it was bought by the 1933 group and moved to its new location.
When they started construction there, they moved it down towards off San Vicente down the street here. So it was all still in West Hollywood. And
Right,
then
right,
here
right.
we ended up in, the corner of Santa Monica and La Cienega. So,
Right on Sunset Strip.
yeah, it's a good.
By the
nice-
way, also Route 66. This is right on Route 66, and boy, does it fit on Route 66. When you think of
yeah.
Route 66, you think of places just like this. It's amazing. Do you
Yeah.
know what it's made of?
Yeah, it's made of actual
Other than beef and pork.
yeah, other than
I'm
beef,
assuming.
and stuff like that. No, it's actually made out of chicken wire and stucco.
So, Andrew, I was reading the Tail of the Pup, originally designed by an architect. His name is Milton Black. He designed it back in 1939. What do you know about Milton?
I don't know too much about Milton Black, but he's a very well-respected architect from what I can tell. He designed a lot of Spanish revival styles, streamline moderne, which is a kind of Art Deco movement, and some really beautiful kind of French chateau-esque apartments in Los Angeles. How he got the commission for a 17-foot hot dog, I don't know, but he was a skilled architect that did really high-quality stuff in most cases. I guess this is a high-quality hot dog too, but it's not his normal style.
Let's talk a little bit about the building, because the
Yeah.
building itself, not the hot dog. Obviously,
Yeah.
the hot dog's got a lot of history, but the building that itself has an incredible history.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
The Doors actually recorded LA Woman here, as well as, a bunch of other records too, as this was the Doors recording studio. at one point.
Wow, what a history.
Yeah.
That's amazing. There's a little plaque inside that denotes that Morrison did the vocals to LA Woman in the actual bathroom of this place.
Yeah.
And I went in there, and the acoustics are pretty good, I got to admit. Pretty
Yeah.
good. Yeah,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
bad.
yeah. Yeah, they are good. And yeah, the story kind of goes that, it was their recording studio. They had recording booths when they were doing LA Woman. Jim didn't really like how it sounded in the booth, so he went into the bathroom, and that's actually where he recorded LA Woman. And
Unbelievable.
you know what? It
That's
sounds
great.
pretty good to this day. It's a hit for a reason, right?
Your marketing is terrific as far as you're marketing to kids, you're marketing to owners of dogs.
Yeah.
You've got a little of everything, and it's done in such a great way. I love every minute of it.
Yeah. So we definitely do a menu for dogs as well.
Yep.
We have a hot dog just for dogs. It's called the Doggy Pup. It's got some Kong cheese on top as a topping. And then we also have a dog beer, so you can come here and enjoy a nice beer with your dog, since we got it on draft as well.
Where else are you going to be able to split a beer with your dog? You know,
Exactly,
it's times like those you sit down and you get introspection. You sit in that place and you're pouring over a beer with your dog
Yeah,
and
you get a
talking
couple-
about philosophy on life. And
A couple good barks and you're
wow,
good.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I noticed you have a lot of merch.
Yeah, we
Great
got a lot of
stuff,
merch for
too.
sure. Yeah, we got a couple different types of shirts. We have a little coffee mug that's got a little wiener dog on it with the hot dog logo, and a lot of fun things that you can find on our website too.
I got to ask you about the paint scheme.
Yeah.
The tile and
Yeah.
the stairs going up. Perfect. Hot dog, bun, mustard.
Yeah.
Just like you
So
guys
that
nailed
was-
it.
That was the idea, totally. So you look at it, going upstairs, and it just looks like it's a hot dog with mustard on both sides and a bun.
And where did you get the tile? The tile is fantastic.
Yeah, so Bobby Green, one of the owners, he does all the architecture designs and stuff
Yeah.
for all of our establishments, and he finds the craziest things, and some of the things are actually super old that he's had in warehouse for some odd
Wow.
years.
So somebody was holding on to hot dog tile. All
Yeah,
these years.
it could definitely a possibility that they just in there for the past 40 years.
Looking for an opportunity to be used.
Yeah,
for sure.
and you know what?
I notice you have great photographs, not headshots of celebrities that they sign. These are actual photographs of these celebrities eating right in front, eating a big dog right in front. Have you met any of these people in the first place?
Yeah. We've actually had, like Jay Leno come by, Weird Al Yankovic come by, people that you wouldn't think would stop by, but they do, just
They're
because
people.
they remember also the significance of what it was. For
And
sure.
who doesn't like a hot dog? I mean, you got to stop. You see a giant hot dog, you got to stop.
Yeah, it's an iconic place, and we were super glad that we could, preserve the history and keep it in West Hollywood.
this has appeared in some movies, the hot dog.
Yeah.
What can you tell me about that?
Yeah, it's appeared in a couple movies. One big one I could tell you about is if you've ever seen L.A. Story, with Steve Martin. You
Yes.
see a giant hot dog cruising overhead of L.A. under a helicopter, and that's actually the hot dog. So there it
Wow.
is,
So do you know, was it closed at the time? And
I believe it was just closed at the time, and they did, they used it as it was, historical, iconic, like we said, and it was floating over LA at one point.
Just something you see in LA, pretty much every day, right?
Exactly. Yeah, just the normal.
Yeah,
The normal.
that sounds about right.
It's been featured in a couple TV shows as well. Rockford Files, big one, right? And then Columbo too.
Wow. So
Yeah.
two 60s, 70s kind of shows.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right in the prime.
I'm assuming, was that in its first location at that point? You
Yeah,
think?
I believe that was in the first location, and then it might have been on the Rockford Files when it was off of San Vicente.
Got it. Wow. Very cool. Very cool. Tell me about the food. Is there any resemblance to the recipes that you're using today with the old?
Yeah, there actually
original
is. Obviously we've definitely changed a couple things, tuned them up, but we have definitely a dog called the 1946 dog, actually, which is the classic split and grilled hot dog down the middle, and then we char it on both sides with a toasted bun, and then it's got grilled onions and mustard.
Oh,
so that's one
man.
that they did do, and it was kind of like a sandwich style, in between
Right.
with the split hot dog. So we do sell that one still, and that one remains the same.
And Jake, what about the hot dog itself?
Yeah. So the hot dog itself, we took it back to the basics where we really wanted, if you just got a plain hot dog, it to be a standout hot dog. So we use a Martin's potato bun, and then the hot dog itself is an all-beef center cut hot dog. So it's all center cut meats, and it's by Snapperazzo, is a company that we partnered with.
So it's
to do it.
customized for you guys.
Yeah,
This is
so
not
it's
something
actually
you can buy off the shelf.
Yeah, it's not something you can buy off the shelf. Snapperazzo actually did one mix just for us. So we think the best hot dogs in town by far.
Assume
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah, easily.
Obviously, you told me about the 1946 pup, and what else you got on the menu that's maybe a little unusual?
One thing that's really cool is our corn dog is actually gluten-free as well. So, we did a lot of R&D
Wow,
and
that's
trying to
tough.
make it, the right one. And we had a big, gluten-free people out here in a presence that wanted that.
Terrific.
So we found that to be really, really cool, and it's worked out really well. So.
And to wrap up this episode, finally, Andy gets to eat his hot dog.
All right, I got it. Tail of the Pup. And look, it even has a little puppy on it. Look at that. And I also got the little kid's hot dog. Why not? Let's give it a try, shall we? I almost ate the paper. Oh. Outstanding. Very good. If you find yourself in West Hollywood, California, on Sunset Strip, Route 66, come on down. Look for the humongous hot dog. It's kind of hard to miss. Outstanding and a great place. Lots of fun.
Hey, we hope you enjoyed this episode of the Big Stuff podcast. Andy, how was that hot dog that you tried?
That's all I got to say. Yeah, it was really good.
Here's a fun fact for you. Over 5 million hot dogs have been served from the counter of Tail O The Pup.
I ate half that.
Some interesting places. We heard Jake Cassano from Tail O The Pup talk about Tail O The Pup was featured in Steve Martin's LA Story. Well, it was also in 1984's movie Body Double. Also in Ruthless People, the movie from 1986.
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito is in that exactly. It was in Columbo's pilot episode.
Wow.
And it was also featured in Pamela Anderson's series that she did, VIP. She was, believe it or not, working from the counter at Tail of the Pup.
Hot dog.
A lot of people think that when they look at Pamela Anderson.
Yes, they do. Well, this was a great trip. We had a lot of fun out there. We missed you, of course, Jen, but we did have you from Zoom for a while, and that was a lot of fun. You couldn't taste the hot dog through the Zoom, but
That's okay.
I think Zoom's working on that, though.
I do know that you're a huge music lover, and not only was it in a lot of TV and movies, but also it's got some music legacy.
I'm a huge Doors fan, have been since I was a kid, and that was really special for me. And to have it in the bathroom, to enjoy, going to the bathroom while I'm also having Jim Morrison in my head.
Weird.
It was pretty weird, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah, LA Woman actually recorded at the site of Tail the Pup's restroom.
Very cool.
Great job to the 1933 group for restoring Tail the Pup to its glory.
Incredible job. The
just looks
details were
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed all of the classic photos that we put into the episode. And thank you once again to Andrew and Jake for being on the episode with us.
Well, you can join us again for episode 4. We got another great episode coming up. Will this one be delicious?
It just might be. You'll have to watch.
See ya.
Join us again for our next Big Stuff podcast. And don't forget to like, share, follow, and subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Instagram, and BigStuffPodcast.com.